My name is Sergei Morozov. I'm 34 now. I live in the Moscow region and work as an electrician. What I'm about to tell you, I kept to myself for a long time. Not because I wanted to, but because it sounds strange. Still, I wasn't crazy then, and I'm not crazy now. It was June 2013. At that time, I lived in Konakovo, Tver region. There was no steady work. I did odd jobs, construction, loading, whatever paid. Through a friend of my father, Viktor Nikolaevich Lobanov, I was offered a job as a night guard. The site was in Kamenka village, about 20 kilometers from Konakovo. There used to be a military communications unit there. In 2009, the unit was disbanded, the personnel left, but the buildings stayed. The job was simple. Stay on site at night, make sure no one breaks in, do a walkthrough once an hour. They paid 18,000 rubles a month. Back then, that was decent money for me. I went there for the first time during the day. The village was small, maybe 20 houses, half of them abandoned. One small store, a bus twice a day. The locals looked at me carefully, but without hostility. The building itself was 2 stories, brick, built in the late 1970s. Old signs were still on the doors: headquarters, archive, duty room. The guard room was on the first floor near the entrance. There was an old table, a chair, a kettle, and a space heater. The first night was completely quiet. So quiet it made my ears ring. On the second night, June 14th, I heard the first strange sound. Around 1:30 a.m., footsteps upstairs. Not creaking, not cracking. Clear, slow footsteps. I went up with a flashlight and checked the second floor. No one there. Lots of dust. No fresh footprints. I blamed the old building. On the third night, the footsteps returned. This time closer, near the stairs. I started feeling tense, but I still tried to stay rational. On the fourth night, I noticed something strange. The door to the former archive room was slightly open. I was sure I had closed it. There was a draft, and it used to slam shut. I closed the door and placed a stool against it, so if it opened, the stool would fall. In the morning, the stool was on its side. The door was open, exactly the width of a hand. On the 7th night, I met the other guard, Andrei Sinitsyn, around 40 years old. We worked alternating nights. I asked him directly, "Did anything happen here before?" He was quiet for a long time, then said, "In 2008, a soldier hanged himself here, in the archive room." I asked, "Why?" He shrugged. "They said he was losing his mind, kept saying that someone came to him at night." After that conversation, I stopped sleeping normally. The worst night was June 23rd, 2013. I fell asleep near morning, maybe for 40 minutes. I woke up knowing someone was standing in the hallway. I didn't hear footsteps, I just knew. Then I heard breathing, slow, very close. I lay there staring at the door, and then the door handle slowly turned. Not jerked, turned, the way a person turns it. The door didn't open. Someone stood there for about 10 seconds. Then footsteps, slow ones, going up the stairs. I didn't go out. I sat there with the light on until morning. At dawn, I left. Didn't wait for the next shift. I never returned to Kamenka. 6 months later, the building burned down. Official cause, an electrical short circuit. Sometimes I still dream about that hallway.
And every time I understand one thing. If I had opened that door, this story wouldn't be told by me.